The shunting operations on McKinley Railway require us to be able to uncouple virtually anywhere, but given the size of this railway, that gives us some considerable problems. McKinley Railway uses the KD system of uncoupling, which uses fixed or electromagnets based under the track bed. This system means, though, that we can only uncouple in those locations. We required a flexible uncoupling system on McKinley Railway that allowed us to uncouple trains anywhere without requiring the devices to be placed in or under the track bed. Our solution is to operate the KD uncoupler from within the locomotive itself, controlled via the locomotive's decoder. This enables us to command an uncoupling manoeuvre at any place on the layout by pressing a function button on the controller. Okay, so here we have a dissected locomotive to show you how we achieve the automatic uncoupling. One thing to note here is that these shunting locomotives have very limited space in them to place any electronics equipment, so we had to make sure that anything we designed was small enough that it could be fitted within the confines of the cab area. So the first thing that we did is we fitted a little solenoid to the bottom of the locomotive chassis to operate the KD coupling arm. And this solenoid is actually a coil from an N-gauge point motor. And if I just move the arm here, you can see how that has been attached to the core of the solenoid. So when that coil operates, it pulls this in and opens the clasp of the KD uncoupler. So in the early days, we had a few problems in getting the system to operate successfully. We were using Digitrack's decoder to operate that solenoid coil directly, but because of the amount of current that coil takes, we were finding that was exceeding the tolerance of the Digitrack's decoder, and we were burning out decoders on a regular basis, so we needed to do something about that. So what we did is we used a very tiny relay, just to show you how small that is, next to a 1p coin. So rather than powering the solenoid directly from the decoder, we used the decoder to switch a relay, and then we took the track power to supply the solenoid separately. But one of the other problems that we had was that the function key would often get stuck down on the controller, and we'd land up with the solenoid coil being permanently energized. And with the current and voltage running through here, this was getting extremely hot and melting the chassis of the locomotive. So we needed to stop that problem. So our solution to that was to build a voltage regulator into the circuit. And you can see that there's the relay, and just underneath it there's a voltage regulator that regulates the voltage down to about 3 volts. So should the function button become stuck in, the voltage is regulated to the solenoid and no overheating occurs, and we protect the solenoid and the locomotive chassis. And finally, by using ESU decoders rather than Digitrack's decoders, there are a set of CV values in here which the user can program specifically for doing uncoupling operations. And this is what enables us to be able to do a complete uncoupling operation with the press of one key. So the CV values control the locomotive reversing backwards against its carriages, taking the pressure off the uncoupler, activating the uncoupler's solenoid, and then driving the loco an inch and a half away from its train. And that's how we achieved the automatic uncoupling system for McKinley Railway.